are in an epidemic of prescription drugs, as you know. This is marijuana, and this is a good story. It's actually leveled off and maybe risen a little bit. I'm not sure what's happening in Carson. But pretty much, we brought marijuana down with a public education campaign that lasted about 10 years. These are prescription drugs. Now that slide goes to 2000, but I can tell you through 2010, that's what it looks like. 18 to 25-year-olds, 12 to 17-year-olds. 1 out of 10 high school seniors since 2005 has used hydrocodone in the last year. 1 out of 20 has used oxycodone. That's a lot of kids. So we used to have keg parties, and now we have farm parties, which is you get into prescription pill bottles in your medicine cabinets if you're a kid, and you bring them to a party and you pour them in a bowl and you take whatever comes. That's the style of ingestion. As we know, kids are bulletproof, so they'll do anything and everything without a whole lot of logic, because they're being driven by the midbrain. This is where kids get their drugs, from your medicine cabinet. 70% of prescription drug abusers get their drugs from family and friends, often for free, sometimes without asking. So it could be, oh, you have a headache, here's one of my Lortabs, but more often than not, it's what you leave from, you know, you go to an emergency room, you get 60 oxycodone for a headache, and you take one, or you take a half, and it makes you feel weird, and you put them in your medicine cabinet, and that's where they stay unless you live with one of these kids who goes and gets them. So those are the statistics. There is a campaign. That's where your prescription is available. But it's a big problem. The take-back programs, you guys had one in Carson, didn't you? I just read an article in the newspaper. It said that it's not good for the environment to burn them, because there's all this toxic smoke going up. It's not good to flush them, so now they really don't know what to do. Pour coffee grounds on and put them in your garbage is the latest. But I think the take-back programs are good because it gets them out of the medicine bag. These are emergency room visits with narcotic analgesics. This is static. This next series of slides, we're starting in 1999, and I don't think you can read that, but it's primary non-heroin opiate synthetics admission rates. So this is treatment above the age of 12. And you can see there's Nevada, looking nice and pale, less than 8. Watch over time. 2001, 2003, 2005, 2007, 2009.
Wow.
It's a pretty staggering series of slides. And this really says people are using prescription drugs. It tells us what we know, but we have it statistically documented. There are more unintentional drug overdose deaths in 2006 than cocaine and heroin combined over any time period. There are more people dying of prescription overdose than motor vehicle accidents as of last month. 100 people per day overdose and die. Here's the AIDS epidemic. This is the peak of the AIDS epidemic. It was not quite at 50,000 deaths. We're at 35,000 deaths a year from prescription drug overdose.